Aries horoscope, second half of September 2025, the roller coaster ride. Hello Aries, and welcome to your horoscope for the second half of September 2025. Now, let me tell you straight away, this is not going to be a smooth and steady period. The movements of the stars during these 2 weeks are described as a roller coaster ride. Some planets are gaining strength, others are losing stability, and the result is that your life may feel unpredictable. One day you'll feel energized and motivated, and the next day you may feel drained or frustrated. But don't worry, even though there will be challenges, especially around communication, finances, and your energy levels, there are also unexpected blessings waiting for you. This period is less about winning every battle and more about learning patience, adapting to change, and preparing for a much stronger and more positive cycle that begins in early October. Let's break this down into 3 main themes. 1. Personal changes and energy shifts ruled by Mars. 2. Money, work, and relationships influenced by Venus and Saturn. 3. Communication, mental clarity, and obstacles affected by the Sun and Mercury. And finally, we'll talk about how Jupiter steps in during early October to bring stability and a fresh start. Theme 1. Personal energy and health. The Mars shift. Mars is your ruling planet. Whenever Mars shifts, Aries feels it strongly because Mars is your engine, your fire, your drive. At the start of September, Mars was in a strong position known as Maha Chakra. That meant you were likely busy, highly active, maybe even overloaded with responsibilities. You could have been juggling multiple projects, social events, or personal goals. But now, in the second half of September, Mars weakens. It moves from Maha Chakra into PRA, which means it's not as stable. The result is mixed energy. Some days you'll wake up ready to conquer the world. Other days, you may feel sluggish, tired, or simply unmotivated. This kind of inconsistent energy can feel frustrating, especially for Aries, who is naturally bold and action-oriented. Lifestyle impact. You may feel less inclined to travel or socialize. Things slow down. The chaos around you eases, but so does your drive. It's a good time to practice flexibility. If you wake up feeling energetic, tackle the harder tasks. If not, give yourself permission to rest. Health warnings. There's also a caution here. Mars in this weaker position makes you more vulnerable to health issues, particularly food poisoning, stomach problems, or digestive stress. So be mindful about what you eat and drink. Avoid street food of questionable quality, don't overindulge in alcohol, and stay hydrated. Example, imagine you're invited to a big dinner or party. Normally, you'd go all out, enjoying everything on the menu. But under these stars, that could lead to stomach trouble the next day. The advice: choose moderation. Positive angle. The blessing here is that life feels less hectic than before. The non-stop rush slows down. This gives you space for self-reflection. You might use this time to think about your goals, reorganize your schedule, or simply rest your mind. Theme 2. Money and work. Venus opposes Saturn. Now let's move on to Venus. Around this time, Venus shifts into your 5th house. On its own, Venus here can bring joy, creativity, and even financial opportunities. But here's the twist. Venus is directly opposite Saturn, which is considered its enemy. This creates tension between pleasure and responsibility, or between spending and saving. Money matters. You may face expenses related to younger people, such as children, younger siblings, or even pets. For example, school fees, medical care for pets, or supporting someone financially. There could be opportunities for investment, maybe in stocks, property, or new ventures. But these opportunities require upfront spending, so it feels like you're spending now for a future return. Work life and your job. You may find minor annoyances cropping up. Small errors, delays, or tasks outside your comfort zone may test your patience. For example, you may be asked to cover a colleague's duties or work with tools or software you're not familiar with. Income may feel unstable. Payments could arrive late, or funding for a project may take longer than expected. Emotional side. This Venus-Saturn opposition also affects your emotions. You may feel a mix of financial stress and relationship tension. If you're in a relationship, discussions about money could become sensitive. If you're single, you may feel like your love life is slower or more complicated than you'd like. Example: suppose you've been saving to buy something important, like a new laptop or home furniture. Suddenly, a family member needs help with an unexpected expense. You find yourself torn between personal wants and responsibilities. This is exactly the kind of push-pull energy Venus and Saturn bring. Theme 3: communication, mind, and obstacles. The Sun and Mercury. Now let's talk about communication and mental clarity. Around September 17th, the Sun moves into your 6th house, the house of challenges, conflicts, and obstacles. At the same time, until September 28th, Mercury is also there. When the Sun and Mercury join in this house, it creates confusion, miscommunication, and extra stress in your daily environment. Communication challenges: you may experience misunderstandings with colleagues, friends, or even family. Messages could get lost, contracts could be delayed, or emails might cause confusion. Paperwork and documents may be more complicated than usual. For example, if you're applying for a loan, visa, or contract, expect delays or errors that require correction. Financial delays: if you're waiting for money, like a refund, salary, or investment return, it could be delayed until after Mercury clears this house at the end of the month. Mental and physical health: the Sun-Mercury energy can also show up as mental fog, forgetfulness, or distraction, dizziness or lightheadedness, problems with electronic devices. You might even have to replace your phone, laptop, or another essential gadget. Example: imagine you're preparing for an important presentation, but your laptop suddenly crashes, or you misplace your USB drive with the files. That's the Sun-Mercury combo in action. It's not permanent, but it is frustrating. The advice here is to double-check everything. Back up your files, double-read your contracts, and be extra cautious with deadlines. Closing summary: the key lessons. So, Aries, what does all this mean for you? The second half of September is a test of patience. You may feel like you're on a roller coaster. Your energy fluctuates because Mars is weaker. Money feels unstable, with expenses rising even as opportunities appear. Communication is messy, with delays, confusion, or even tech breakdowns. But here's the silver lining: despite these challenges, you're likely to receive unexpected gains, money, opportunities, or support that arrives suddenly and helps balance things out. And even more importantly, as we move into early October, Jupiter, the planet of luck and blessings, moves into a strong and stable position. That's when you'll feel the tide turning, bringing clarity, stability, and new beginnings. So the message of this period is clear: be patient, stay cautious, and ride out the ups and downs. Take care of your health, watch your spending, double-check your communication, and prepare for better days ahead. Final note, Aries. This is your horoscope for the second half of September 2025. Remember, the stars are not here to punish or reward you. They're here to guide you, to help you understand when to push forward and when to step back. This is your time to slow down, reflect, and prepare. Because once October begins, you'll find the energy and opportunities you've been waiting for. Stay strong, stay mindful, and trust the journey.